Payment of tithing is fire insurance. Nonetheless, the word of the Lord is clear that those who do not keep the commandments and observe the laws of God shall be burned at the time of his coming. For that shall be a day of judgment, a day of sifting, a day of separating the good from the evil. I would venture a personal opinion that no event has occurred in all the history of the earth as dreadful as will be the day of the second coming, as fraught with the destructive forces of nature, as consequential for the nations of the earth, as terrible for the wicked, and as wonderful for the righteous.
Travis Wayne Goodsell. We'll do a video instead of going to bed, as I noticed that my internet attacks have ceased. So, there's a history of temple burning in the United States of America. Did you know that? The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is on the front lines of this. We begin with 9/11/1826 at the Mason Lodge, Yorkites, thus Temple, in Canandaigua, New York. The Scottish Rites Freemasons learned that William Morgan had found out their plot to overthrow America in the latter days, using the Bible to coordinate their attack with the timing because of the star dates, astronomical dates, written in Revelation and referred to all over the scriptures, the Bible. And coded this latter-day event as Jesus Christ's second coming with the day that shall burn as an oven, the abomination of desolation. And so they threatened him by making a false arrest. And so the Master Mason of the Canandaigua Temple freed him from the United States of America and took on the responsibility to finish the book that was to warn Americans of this latter-day threat. Now, obviously, the book can't come right out and name names and name the specific plot and the dates and all that stuff, so it had to be coded. And yes, it's the Book of Mormon. If you've not watched my channel, if you've not followed me, and you still refuse to believe and not even give it a try, bye. You're wasting your time putting a hate comment. And because of this event, William Morgan just disappeared. Nobody knew where he went. And a reporter, back in those days, did an article on his disappearance. And it was believed that it was exposing the secrets of Freemasonry. And thus he was murdered and his body hidden to cover it up. No. There's more to that. The Book of Mormon is proof of what actually happened. And it caused a panic in the colonies, in the brand new United States of America that had just recovered from the War of 1812. in which the White House was burned to the ground. There's a pattern here. As a result, the people, in panic and anger and fear, followed Gaston to kill the beast and burn his castle down. And yeah, that's what they did. They burned almost every single Masonic temple in the colonies. I think there was like 5 or 6 that remained after the damage. There was well over 100. They were just outraged at Masonry generally. And so, yeah, the Canandaigua Temple was burned to the ground. And so when you go to Heber C. Kimball under Masonry, that's what he's referring to. His record of becoming a Royal Ark Mason at that lodge temple were destroyed. Oh, you'll just have to trust my word. No, he reveals he's the enemy. And so, yes, the Kirtland Temple, when it was dedicated, sang as the song, "The Spirit of God, like a fire, is burning." And so, in our modern day, we learn about those in attendance believing that the Kirtland Temple on that dedication was on fire because of the Spirit that was there and present. But the problem is that it was those who followed Brigham Young to this valley who then would later write about it in their journals here in this valley, who were making these claims. They were Danites under Heber C. Kimball and Brigham Young. The Danites are the threat to the United States of America, at least the religious half. Book of Mormon explains this. There's a secret combination in the great and abominable church, and at the end of the destruction of the Nephites, they come together in peace and harmony to burn the Nephites to the ground. The latter days. But we're not there yet. We still have the Nauvoo Temple. Dedicated on the 1st of May, 1846. Kirtland Temple was dedicated March 27th, 1836. So we have 9/11, 1826, March 27th, 1836, 10 years later, and May 1st, 1846 for the Nauvoo Temple, 10 years apart. I told you, they love to play the numbers game. And May 1st is the anniversary of the Illuminati, and so thus why Brigham Young put on the inverted pentagram on the Nauvoo Temple, and thus on the Salt Lake Temple and the Logan Temple, and his son, Don Carlos, did the Eagle Gate. It's now on State Street for everybody to see which religion the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints actually is. That goes on within their temples. Anti-born, the doctrine of Lucifer. And so the Nauvoo Temple, after Brigham Young fled the country, it was apparently sold, or so was the claim, in 1848, and was burned to the ground by arson. He was hinge pointing. Yep, that's the key word there. is that Brigham Young had conquered Joseph Smith, had fled the country, was now starting his kingdom, even though 1848 the United States stole his kingdom right from under him when Mexico seceded. And comedy ensues as Brigham Young got angry and committed terrorism again. And so what this shows you is the enemy's symbolic intent. The physical manifestation of a symbolism of overthrow and destroying and razing to the ground and then rising up from the ashes with a new world order, a new religious order. And so when Nelson comes out in that one conference talking about hinge pointing, as I found Oakes talking about the second coming as hinge pointing, this is what they're telling us, is that they are ending the traditional Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and they're about to set forth into the millennial reign of their restored kingdom with the destruction of the United States of America. It's the latter days, so yeah, the abomination of desolation, the day that shall burn as an oven. And so that's what we are to expect, as is the historical pattern for this. There are burnings that are symbolized. That's why the KKK do burnings. That's why the Confederate flag has the cross with inverted pentagrams on it, to symbolize the burning in the latter days that they are plotting. They're all part of that same group 200 years ago. And then you got MAGA and Nazis and all that are also part of it. And then evangelicals got involved as also part of the religion with the church. And so we are to expect that with the destruction of the United States of America, there will also be a destruction of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, as Nelson is preparing us for the millennial kingdom with the destruction of the Salt Lake Temple, and then rising up with a new religious order for the millennium. And it appears that the prophets are going to sacrifice themselves. If you didn't watch, shame on you, my hour-long video about Plan B, because that's what it's all about, is destroying the hope of Mormons, not just Americans. Just utterly, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically decimating the people. No Jesus appears, obviously, because Constantine created him. And so, yeah, that's basically it. What we got coming with the historical pattern. So, easy breezy cover girl. The whole thing with the Masonic temples was the Scottish Rites wanted revenge on whoever did it, and that's why they came after Joseph Smith, is because they saw the Book of Mormon and went, oh, it's them. And that's why Brigham Young and his missionary Danites turned the Book of Mormon into another testament of Jesus Christ rather than the learning of the Jews, which it says right at the beginning of the book. And then Joseph Smith's intro, you're supposed to read that too and go, oh, it's a book of prophecy and revelation, not literal history. Got it. Nope. Church didn't bother to footnote the introduction by Joseph Smith. And I'm not talking about the intro by Wilford Woodruff. That little quote, I told the brethren. No, I'm talking about Joseph's original introduction. The spirit of prophecy and of revelation. So, that's why. This is way too quick of a video. I think I should keep on going.